due to the fact that my first client was unable to follow through with doing this second video, I have recruited a second client for the purpose of this lengthening video. Doing the overhead squat, we had noticed that his arms fell forward as well as there was a low back arch. This could be due to suspected probable overactive pec major as well as a latissimus dorsi. After doing the modified overhead assessment, we noticed that everything went into proper alignment. So those are the two, the latissimus dorsi and the pectoralis major, are the two muscles that we are going to be lengthening today. The first technique that we're going to use is SMR, or self-myofascial release. This can be done with several different kind of contraptions. Today we're going to be using a foam roll. And this is just to decrease the overactivity of those tightened muscles. So the first thing we're going to do is our lats. So what we're going to get the client to do is just take a seat on the mat, just to be bracing yourself that you're going to be rolling over onto your right hand side. You're going to lay on the foam roll so it is at the base of the armpit, right where your lat is, and you're going to extend the right arm out. Perfect. And you can brace yourself with your foot in the back or the front. For a little more stability, you can put it in the front. And we're just going to make sure that we are tilting the pelvis forward just a little bit and fully extending that right leg. Perfect. And you're just going to roll until you feel a tight or tender spot. This will elicit somewhat of an uncomfortable tightness, however it shouldn't elicit any major pain. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. If you wanted to apply more body weight, you can feel it, but you wanted just a little extra something, instead of me coming down and forcing the client down onto the foam roll, he can just simply lift his pelvis up, applying more body weight to the foam roll. And we would do the exact same thing to the left-hand side, again holding it for 30 seconds, just making sure that all that tightness is out of that lat. The second SMR stretch or inhibitory technique that we're going to do is for the pecs. So what we're going to do is get the client to take a seat on the mat once again, preparing to lay face down onto the foam roll. So we're going to position this vertically to the client. And what you're going to do is just lay on the foam roll, so it's just, in from the armpit there. Perfect. Right where your pec is, you're going to extend this arm out, just like that. And again, you're going to roll just until you can feel that tight spot. And we're going to hold that again for 30 seconds. And we're going to roll in a little more after that. And we're going to switch sides and continue on. The second technique we're going to use today is static stretching. So this is just a long duration static stretch. First one we are going to do is for the pectoralis major. So we're just going to get the client to get positioned on the wall behind us. What we're going to have him do is fully extend his arm out and behind him. And we're going to get him to hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. And if he wants to feel a little bit more of a stretch, he can kind of rotate out of that, maintaining the arm fully on the wall. Do that. And for this technique, again, we would hold this for 20 to 30 seconds, and we can repeat this 1 to 4 times. And after this side, we will continue on with the opposite side. Okay, great. And then you can get off to the side again. And the second static stretch we're going to do is for the lats. So if this were the wall here, what we're going to get the client to do is face the wall quite a few feet from the wall. We're going to get him to position his hands about hip height. And what we're going to get him to do is just fall right into that stretch, lowering his torso down. And so we'll get you to get up on the wall. All right, and from this position, we're going to tell the client to just raise his head slightly up. We want it nice and extended as the spine is. Perfect. And we're going to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds and repeat it up to 4 times as well. And the last lengthening technique we're going to use is PNF stretching. What this does is take the client to his end range of motion and ultimately increase his range of motion. The first thing we're going to do is his pectoralis major. So what we're going to get him to do is take a seat on the bench. And from this, I'm going to stand behind him. What we'll get him to do is interlock his fingers behind his head. And we're just going to hold that. The trainer is going to come in right behind, placing your arms right across his and gripping on to his rib cage. From this point, we are going to bring the client's arms back until they say when. We're going to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds, and then we're going to get the client to apply 20 to 25% of his strength, pressing into your arms. We're going to hold that for 7 to 15 seconds, and then bring the client's arms back once again, holding passively for 20 to 30 seconds, completing this up to 3 times. Alright, and then the last PNF stretch of the day, we are going to do the lats. So what we're going to do is, with the assistance of a foam roller, we're going to get our client to come in and take a seat as if he's going to be laying on his back. What we're going to do is position the foam roller at about mid-back. We'll go ahead and lean on that. Perfect. And we'll just get you to get up a little bit. There you go. And we're going to get the client to fully relax back. Perfect. And the main thing we don't want to see is any excessive back arching or low back arching. If that's the case, we'll just get the client to draw in, bringing that belly button in towards the spine, just bracing himself. At this point, we are going to get the client to fully extend his arm above him. Yep, and we're going to rotate this just a bit. And we're going to bring it back into that first point of resistance, right about here. And at this position, again, we're going to tell our client to relax. We're going to get him to press up into my hand, about 20 to 25% of his strength for 7 to 15 seconds. And then we're going to passively bring that arm back down just a little bit at a time. And we're going to do this up to 3 times. When we passively bring it back, we're going to hold it for 20 to 30 seconds. So I'll just get you to press up into my hand. Perfect. And again, we would continue this up to 3 times and repeat on the opposite.